everybody, how are you doing? Welcome back to the channel 7 Sensational Girls, and today is Monday, so I'm here again. So yeah, hope you're having a lovely time with me. Today we should talk about some of our experiences, or just one experience or more, I don't know. But I thought I can make this positive. I can talk about my holidays and stuff and be like, oh hey, I did that and it was all amazing. But I was like, you know what, let's make it a little bit more spicy. And I was like, I'm just gonna talk about my panic attacks, because why not? Because I'm just trying to help you here. I'm just trying to share my secret, although I don't have one. But if I would share it with you. So just a quick disclaimer, I'm not trying to be like, oh, you should all feel sorry for me because I have panic attacks. I don't have like a serious panic disorder. I just got like a normal person. I believe like everyone basically has panic attacks when you just, I don't really know, when you really fail your exams, then you might have a slight panic attack or something. Or when you have like, when you're in a scary, spooky environment, I don't know. But I feel like everyone basically has panic attacks at some point. Maybe if you're really lucky then you don't have them, but I do sometimes. And I wanted to talk about them, and not because I would be like, oh, you should feel sorry for me, it's a horrible disorder that I have and that I'm just a really pitiful person and stuff like that. No, I'm just trying to say my experience to you with panic attacks and say how to prevent it possibly, or what to do when it occurs, because I feel like I'm not trying to copy Zoella. I know she does a lot of panic attacks related videos because she has them as well, but I'm really not. I feel like everyone could basically do this video like about panic attacks, because as I said, I believe that a lot of people have these. So maybe you don't even realize that they are panic attacks. I'm sorry, I need to turn off my PC. Maybe you don't even, flipping hell! Maybe you don't even realize that you have them, but you know, this kind of strong anxiety when you just feel that you are like sweating and you just really want to get out of the place, and you just maybe start crying and your breath goes real quick and stuff like that. That is like something that I call a panic attack. I'm not talking about like, oh, I don't feel good. That is for me more like an anxiety, but a full-on panic attack, I believe, is when you're just literally sweating and shaking and you do not know what to do. So I've got a few experiences when I experienced my panic attacks, and I'm gonna tell you probably why I experienced them. I don't really know yet what is like the starter of them, but it just happens sometimes when something bad happens, so I might just, you know, roll with it. So yeah, let's do it! I'm really sorry if you've heard any kind of like Facebook ding-dong songs, I don't know, because like my class just created a chat group and they're just spamming there, so that's what's happening. But I turned it off now, so it should be all good. So let's do it. The first panic attack I would like to talk about is very strange for me, because I was at a... To be honest, you'll get the vibe with these panic attacks, because usually they kinda occur when something is related to dancing. As you may or may not know, I am a professional dancer. I mean, not a professional, but I go to competitions and stuff like that, so if you want to call that professional, you can. If you want to call that amateur, you can as well. I don't know, I'm just a dancer, that's what I'm saying. And I've been dancing for 9 years, I believe, and I really like it, and like panic attacks won't stop me loving it, because I just will like it. But to be honest, I don't know, I guess it's all the stress that comes when you have to, for example, when you, for example, have a competition. I believe that is a lot of stress, because you just are like waiting in the line and you're like just really pumped up because you are just going to be on stage in front of people, and there are gonna be judges that are going to judge you and give you points, and there are other groups that are competing you and stuff like that, and there's a lot of people and stuff like that. So I believe that is why I probably have these panic attacks when like I'm on the dancing competitions. But also I just don't like a lot of people. I was never good with crowds, and I mean, when I was younger I didn't mind crowds, and I just volunteered even to go on stage on my own and just perform something. I would dance, I would sing, I would play an instrument, I would do anything. And I did that when I was younger. I don't know how, I don't know why, but I just did. I can't imagine going on stage voluntarily now, because that seems like, whoa, that I would never do that now. But I somehow did do that when I was younger, so yeah, here you have, people change. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is a panic attack. So the first panic attack I want to talk about is when I was at our dancing camp. Every year we have like a summer dancing camp where you dance a lot, you dance like 4 times a day, 3 times a day, and it's a lot of movement and it's a lot of training, and it's hard, but it's fun, and you have all your favorite people there because it's all your kind of like dancing colleagues, friends, you know, amigos. And I basically really like that camp, although this year I couldn't go and last year I had to go home. But I really like that year, what am I saying? I really like that camp. But the only thing I don't like about it is when you have, for example, like big evenings, like you do disco, or you have like dancing battles, or you just, I don't know, go and camp, like do a campfire, that's what it's called. But I don't really like those because at that point there's a lot of people and I just don't feel comfortable with that. But the panic attack I'm talking about was 2 years ago, or 3 years ago? 2 years ago, I believe. No, 2 years ago. And it was when there was a disco. And I was like, you know what? I may go to the disco and just like stand in the corner, I guess. Like the babe who stood in the corner. Never mind. And I'm just, you know, I'm not gonna participate. I can't speak in the discotheque, in the dancing, group dancing, because I was not a fan of that. And at first I was like, you know what, I don't really feel good. I guess I don't want to go there. And I just came close to it. And I was like hearing all the upbeat music and like the people just screaming and just doing a lot of noise. And I was like, okay, no, I'm not going there because I know what would happen. I just do not want to have a panic attack. I'm not going there. So at this point, if you realize that something might just bring a panic attack to you, then don't do it. Don't do it if you don't have to, because if you can avoid it, it's like the best thing you can, because you can just avoid a panic attack. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna go there. And I went to the playground and I just sat on a swing or something. And I was like, what a nice evening, I'm just sitting on a swing. And then my friend came and she was like, are you going to the discotheque? And I was like, no, I'm not, because I don't really like it. And she was like, how are you feeling? Good? And I was like quite anxious, and I was like, no, I'm not, because I was just there and just I didn't really feel good. And she was like, you know what, then stay here, we're just gonna check the disco out and we're gonna come back for you and we're gonna do something together, stay there. And of course I didn't stay there. I just went out, I just went away. I ran away, literally. I was like, no, I don't want any help. I just don't want you to feel sorry for me. I'm just gonna run away because I can do this on my own. That was a mistake, guys. If someone is willing to help you, then let him, because if I would let the people help me back there, I would probably end up having an actual panic attack. But I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go on my own. And I went to a little pond and I sat there and I was like contemplating life and just thinking about what is living and just being all like emo and stuff, because I really was at that time. I was like, oh, you know, life is hard. Although I did not know what was hard yet. I soon realized, but never mind. So I was like sitting there and just like in front, there were spiders all around me. It was quite disgusting, but I was just sitting there and having a great time. And then I was like, you know what, I'm quite cold, I'm gonna go and grab a blanket. And so I got up and I went to the house where the leaders were, and they had blankets there. So I was like, I'm gonna go there, grab a blanket. And I went there, and one of the leaders said to me, oh hey Andy, you can I just made some bread with some fish like sauce or something. Could you bring it to the disco so they have something to eat? And I was like, can I? And she was like, can you please, because I have got a lot of things to do and there's no one around because everyone's at the disco and they need something to eat, so could you please bring it there? And I was like, okay, because I am a nice person, I want to help other people, and if someone asks me to do something, I want to do it, although I maybe shouldn't. And so I got the bread and I was like walking there and I was like, okay, it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna pop in there. I'm just gonna put the bread on the table and be like, bye. Just have up your bread. I'm just gonna leave. And so I went there and I put the bread there. And they were like, oh, hey, Andy, do you want to come and join us? I was like, not really. And then they just like pulled me in and started dancing with me. And I was like, yay, having a great time, disco, yay. So I was like dancing with them. And the music was really loud. And we just tried to do some synchronized dancing and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, guys, I kind of need to go. And they were like, no, don't go, it's fun. And I was like, I need to go. And they were like, don't go, don't be stupid, stay here with us. And I was like, I need to flip and go. And I just ran away because I was like, I can't take this, I'm just gonna run away. And so I did. And I was like, okay, everything is fine. I'm just gonna distract myself with some like dancing and stuff. Like, it sounds weird that I just ran away from disco and I want to distract myself with dancing, but I just found a little place behind the disco where there were no people. It was dark there, the music wasn't too loud, it was quite alright, and I was like, you know, I'm just gonna sit here and just move a little bit and dance a little bit just to like ease my mind and stuff like that. And I did that and I was like, okay, I did it, but I still don't feel good. And I literally felt, I don't know why, because it wasn't such a big deal, but it just somehow just really scared me, the fact that they wanted me to stay there at the disco that I really didn't like, and I had to shout at them to get away, and the fact that what they have to think of me right now. I was like really thinking about this and really starting to panic, and I literally felt like a little bubble that was like coming from my lower abs and just going up my chest and just like popping. And the second it popped, I started shaking. I was like, okay, no, this is not good. This is really not good. And so I went and I was like, okay, our cottage, our house, our room is just behind the corner. I'm just gonna go there, lay in the bed and be right. So I went there and I opened the door and I was like, I'm just gonna put some I started crying, and I was like, okay, my mascara is done around my face, I should wash my face, it's gonna refresh me and it's gonna take off the crying mascara thing. So I just put cold water on my face, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be fine, we're all good. And so I just removed it, the makeup, and just freshened up my face a little bit, and I was like, it's gonna be good. And then I went, and there were people behind the door, and I was like, what are they doing there? And they were like knocking at me, and they were the people from the disco, and they probably wanted me to go back. And I was like, no, I can't go. So I just went to the door, and they were like, come back to us, like, it was fun, come, let's dance. I was like, really guys, I do not want to. And they were like, come on, don't be a p***. Sorry, I'm gonna bleep that. Just come with us. And I was like, no, I really don't want to. And again, I had to shout at them because otherwise they wouldn't leave. And they left, and I was like, okay, this is not good. I started shaking real bad, and I couldn't breathe. So I was like, okay, I need to breathe in, breathe out. And when I breathe in and breathe out, I started breathing too much, and I started seeing sparkles in front of my eyes, and I fainted. But not really fainted, like I would completely just faint. I was like still quite conscious, but not really. I was just like, I fell down on the floor, but I just didn't really like think about, like, I just couldn't think basically. I just was laying there and shaking and crying and breathing, and I was like, now what do I do? And in that moment I heard the door, and behind that door there were the girls who left me at the playground saying that they're gonna come back, that I shouldn't go away. And they were like, what is happening to you? And one of my really good friends just came over to me, and she was like, okay, I know what's happening, because I told her about sometimes the panic attacks I have. And she was like, okay, I know what's happening. So she was like, okay, calm down, breathe in, breathe out. And she was like, okay, she's really shaking, I don't know what to do, she's shaking really weirdly. And one of the girls were like, should we call a hospital or something, or like an ambulance? And then I was like, no, I just got like a little voice out of myself, because I was like, I did not want them to call ambulance, but because I knew it would go off, but it would just go away. But I don't know, at that point I was really glad that this person was there, because she was like stroking me, and she was like, everything is okay, just breathe in, just breathe nicely, and you can go to bed and everything's gonna be fine. When I was okay, she actually invited me that some of the girls didn't go to the disco, and they had like they sat around the campfire and just chatted and stuff. So at that point I was like, okay, that is good for me, so I should probably go there. I should a little bit socialize a little bit. But so I went there, and I just talked with them, and then after a while everything was fine. I mean, I still went to bed quite shaky, because I was like, I just didn't understand, like, there wasn't anything that was like too crazy to happen, but I don't know, I just didn't understand it. I just had a panic attack, and I don't know why, basically. But yeah, so that's how it ended. I just went to bed, and the next day I felt a lot better. And yeah, that's the first panic attack story. And I actually wanted to talk about more, but I guess I do not have much time left, because it's currently 4 p.m. and I really need to do stuff. So I'm just gonna throw it out there that I also have panic attacks when we are at the dance competitions, because I get really nervous, and there's a lot of people, and there's a lot of noise, and there's constantly music playing, and we're training, and we're like just really nervous how it's gonna go and stuff like that. And at that point I really have panic attacks, to the point where I have to go away and just sit down on the stairs or somewhere, and the same girl that actually helped me in the situation I just described usually sits with me and just like talks to me and stuff like that. And sometimes even the couch comes over and he's like, are you even able to perform? And every time I want to say no, because I feel like I'm just not able to do anything. But at that point I just realized that I have to perform. I went there, I've been through this, it's been a few, I mean, I go to competitions pretty often, and I'm just still not, I still didn't get used to it. And so I was like, you know, I'm there, I'm here, I'm one of the people, like main people in the group that just need to be there, because otherwise it would just screw everything up. And I don't want, I would feel so bad if I would screw this up. So I just usually go and perform. I mean, I am so done afterwards, like so done. Like, imagine having a panic attack and perform in front of hundreds of people. But I do that because I'm like, I need to do this. I just need to prove that I'm not that weak. And I'm actually quite proud of myself that I still get to do this. Although sometimes I had like a serious panic attack and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go, and the coach actually sent me to the bus that was sitting outside, and I couldn't be on the final, like on the finals, so I didn't hear on which place we were, and we were actually at the first place, and I didn't get the medal because I wasn't there, because I was in the bus because of my panic attack, which is kind of sad because I wasn't on the photo with them. I mean, I performed with them, so I was still part of something that got a first medal, but the gold medal. But I was like, I felt just really sad because I was not on a photo with them, I didn't get the medal, and it was not because I would be like, I need the medal because I want to feel like I just did something. No, it was just more like, it's like when you're outside just on a vacation with your family and you're experiencing everything with your family, but then all the photos are without you. That is kind of, you know, it's like you have no memories from them that you can keep, because if I would have the photo, I would just hang it on my wall and I would be like, okay, this is a memory, but I'm not on that photo, and it's really sad. And so yeah, so sometimes panic attacks actually make me feel good afterwards, that I actually achieved something, that I got through the panic attack and even performed while the panic attack occurred. But sometimes it's really bad and I just wish that they would go away. I mean, as I said before, they are not something serious. They're not something like I would have to cure somehow. It just happens here and there, and I understand because I'm just an anxious person, and when there's a lot of people and when I'm on the dancing competition, it's quite obvious that I get a panic attack. So don't feel sorry for me. I am just getting over it, and I feel fine with it. I just accepted it. And if you have panic attacks as well, just sometimes or regularly or on everyday basis, just any panic attacks, just I wish you the best to just get rid of it as much as you can, because, or just avoid it, because I just really don't want anyone to feel like this. So just wishing for you, praying for you that your panic attacks will go away. So yeah, that is everything I wanted to say about my panic attacks. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell button so you get notified every time we post. And just see you later. Bye!